Yeah, this is called Real Recognize Real by Wygo. Here we go. Yeah. And only the real gonna feel all the blood that's been spilled, cause life is steady climbing uphill through nothing but dangerous battlefields. And my words are my sword of protection, cause they sharp and they cut deep as steel. My heart helps guard against the pain as my reliable war shield. My flows coming from a twisted and sadistic broken soul that's been more warped than a busted bicycle wheel. My lyrics are sick enough to kill, but they're really meant to help heal. That's why I say you can only relate to my pain, cause real recognize real. I started at the very bottom where my earliest memories still leave me haunted. Allow me to empty these skeletons up out of my closet. All I'd ever gotten was a lot of hate growing up, never any good luck or someone who showed some love. So I injected some drugs, threw a needle into my blood, filtered in a spoon by some cotton. Gave a little strength to my warrior spirit, left for dead long ago to be forever forgotten. My childhood was what most would probably call shocking, simply no way of stopping my views as they slowly turned just as rotten as Osama bin Laden's. I spent my teens like a marksman, knocking off my targets, doing nothing but plotting jackins and robins, always looking for a clue to help prove what I was supposed to do with my next move. Never gave a fuck, felt I had nothing to lose, but I always knew that I wanted to prove that I was true. So I stayed that way to every one of my crew, and in the end, ended up getting fucked over and screwed. Man, I'll tell you that life ain't never smooth. I paid some heavy dues, many times been left heavily bruised. I reached out to God, asked him just to send me a clue. The only thing I received was what it was like to catch a bad case of the blues, and they stuck to my every move like they was glue. Raining with gray clouds inside of my room. My life was a mess and I had no one to help me find a broom as a child, cause they wanted me to collapse in a pile and drown in my own bile. Let me take you on a journey just a quarter of a mile to see what it was like walking in my shoes as a juvenile. So much misery and fear in me that it was impossible to smile. System had me on file as being too wild and hostile, and all the dirt that I did eventually buried me in a pile, and they locked me up from 15 to 19 with no trial. Let me down like I was just a piece of tile. I felt that I kept myself cool and mild, but the therapist said I was stuck deep in denial, and while society said I didn't belong, I knew in the back of my head and in my heart that they was wrong. So I stayed strong. Even after all of my strength was gone, I carried on. Even when the hill felt so tall and I felt so small. And I ended up heading where others said that I was destined. And I'm talking about heaven, I mean the Department of Corrections. I was arrested so much as an adolescent that it severely affected my childhood development. And whenever I asked for directions, I was misdirected with many stupid suggestions. No one to guide me or offer refreshment. I was breathless and left guessing, all on my own, abandoned and neglected. I was never truly respected. It seemed like even my friends violated my personal space more than I ever expected. Decided to do more than just threaten. Wanted to make a lasting impression, so I selected negative efforts to leave my enemies just as breathless. Wanted to murder and teach them traitors a lesson like the lecture chair in Texas. Wanted the world to hear my confessions and still show me some acceptance before my rage and anger continued progressing. I was just as careless and reckless as a hobo on a stolen lettuce after being rejected, that I wasn't hesitant for a second to answer when God beckoned me to deliver a message to the struggling adolescents who were in desperate need of wisdom and protection. That's why I said words are like medicines or maybe lethal weapons. Depends what direction you spit them. I try to do mine like I'm not a terrorist in this lyrical Armageddon. I just want to fucking quit stressing. Help these suicidal teens find a stairway to heaven, cause life is a present, and through the memories and the lessons we learn to appreciate the curses with the blessings. So now I just focus on the good and let people know that Stephen Cook is more than a thief and a crook. Don't want to die misunderstood and downgraded. I was born to be hated, now I'm just dying to be loved. Don't want to be faded, man, I'm so sick of the drugs. I can't afford to give up now that the love is so clearly demonstrated, and I'm learning what it's like to give a fuck. Try to keep my mouth shut when it comes to the system, but my middle fingers will probably always remain risen, and only the real gonna feel this life that I'm living.